Hello, Gemini. My name is Camille, and you are watching Millennial Tarot. Welcome to your August 2018 reading. Sorry, I got distracted easily by a thing outside. Sorry! So, I want to say very briefly that I'm doing a $5 reading summer special until the end of August. So, if you need any personal insights on your situation, of course, you can hit me up. I will leave everything you need in order to do that below. But without further ado, let's get to you and see what the energies are for August. Okay, so what we pulled for you coming into this reading, recent past, or setting off the reading with the energies of the Empress. And then we move into a present position, so the energies of August of the Eight of Cups. And then we move here into the Seven of Pentacles. So a lot of Geminis are doing a lot, spinning their wheels, not necessarily happy with the outcome. It's like the Empress card was the impetus for a new idea, a new thing that you wanted to do, just a new direction you were going to take. And the Eight of Cups is like, well, in order to do that, you have to leave something behind. A person, a job, a thought pattern, or a concept behind that was giving you comfort. And then you're kind of like, okay, well, I did the work, I gestated the idea, I thought about what I wanted to do, and I'm making moves towards it, but I'm not quite happy with what I'm getting, is what's happening in August. So that's why I want to clarify this Seven of Pentacles. There we go. Flopped right on out. Onto the floor. Okay, the world. So I gave you a brief little, the Cliff Notes version? Because you know that Gemini, I can do a full novel type of reading for you. But that was my Cliff Notes version, but let's go into each card specifically. So here we have the Empress card, which I alluded to before, represents the period of gestating, of accumulating new ideas so that they can be birthed into the world. So these inscriptions, the inscription of Venus does mean something. So this is something that has to do with art. It has to do with creativity. Venus rules money, so it has to do with moving into adventure that has to do with more money for yourself. Venus has a lot to do with diplomacy, working with other people, fairness, and just. So these are ideas that have to do with Venusian qualities, or can have to do with Venusian qualities. Venus also has to do with love. So making a direction into dating or working on your relationship or all these things. And Venus also rules self-worth. So moving into a part of your life or thinking of new ideas that have a positive impact on the worth of others and the worth of yourself. The Empress is a very fertile card. She's third in line after the Magician, which is the inception, the divination of everything. And then the High Priestess, which represents the inspiration. The Empress then represents its birth into the physical world. So this really sees a lot of Geminis having taken July and the wonderfully astrologically busy month of July, and new insights, new ideas, new creative endeavors really occurred to you with job, health, money, or your love life. And I'm getting that for some of you, it's kind of like, how am I going to do this? Or I have to, it seems like I'm being too big for my britches almost, like this idea that I have, this dream that I have. You know, I have the idea, I got the insight, I got the inspiration, I got the inclination to even want to do it, and I'm trying to birth it into the world. It has to do with all these lovely Venusian qualities of love, harmony, peace, creativity, worth, but I have to like kind of level up in life. And when we level up in life, we do shed skin. So when a snake, oh, actually I don't know a lot about snakes, so I'm not even going to talk about snakes. But just imagine that you were kind of in a cocoon, and a cocoon represents this period of gestation, obviously, physically, because a cocoon is larva and something being created to then become an actual sentient creature. So it's like you're a cocoon, and it's like, guys, it's really warm in here. It's like, I like it. I don't have to worry about anything. It's my little safe space. But in order to become the butterfly, we have to really shed that skin. And shedding the skin means growing out of it, but also it means embarking onto this new phase of your life. And you're kind of unsure what it's going to look like, what it's going to bring you, how you're going to do it. We think about caterpillars and how the hell they even turn into butterflies. So it's kind of like you're in this cocoon phase, and you want to break out, and you have to get out, and you realize it's going to involve some discomfort. And that's what the Eight of Cups is really coming in here to say. The Eight of Cups pictures, one of these days I'm going to be a very smooth speaker. I just don't think it's in the stars for me. But the Eight of Cups really speaks to walking away from something that once gave you satisfaction. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It could be simply I'm walking away from the idea that I only deserve $2,000 a month, and I really want $5,000 a month, and so all the kinds of beliefs we have and all the things that we have to do to kind of shift into that part of life where we are getting more money. It also just means literally walking away from a job, walking away from a relationship, walking away from a house that you were living in, walking away from a friendship, just walking away, and doing so with a sense of deep emotional soreness about it. And it's kind of like, I know I want to do this, and I see my future is here, but I cannot be here and also be there. So I have to walk away from what was there. But you built a life there, and you're used to that, and it's comfortable for you. So the Eight of Cups really shows Gemini stepping out into the world, but doing so in a way that feels sour, doing so in a way where you kind of already are nostalgic for what you were losing out on. And not losing out on for what you were leaving behind. And that always happens when we level up in life. There's no leveling up without shedding the things that would be weighing us down, whether they be people, whether they be thought patterns, whatever it is for you. You know what it is. And then it's kind of like, okay, I had the idea, I'm walking away, I'm doing like this emotional thing, like for instance, if you are like me, you want to leave your day job to do something like this full time. And so leaving your day job still means saying goodbye to a lot of things that are comfortable, like a steady paycheck or your coworkers, or just getting into the groove of getting up and going into your car every day. And now you're kind of moving into a more undefined place in your life. So the Seven of Pentacles shows you doing the work. It shows you doing the thing that you want to do in the world. It shows you dating. It shows you trying to start a business. It shows you trying to reclaim your finances in a way that you feel comfortable. But you're just not satisfied. And whenever we start a new endeavor, whenever we start a new project, it is a human inclination to want to get results immediately. Or maybe it's just this societal place we are now in of instant gratification. And you're towing the line of both working hard, but you're working hard and always kind of like looking over your shoulders, like, when is it going to come? When is my boyfriend going to come? When is the big contract going to come? Whatever it is for you. And when you do that, when you do all that sidestepping, not only are you not working diligently, like your energy is being taken in all these different places, which is common for a Gemini, but you also are losing out on the things that you do have. And the Seven of Pentacles representing, you do have Seven Pentacles, you have been working, and you're not happy yet because maybe it's not the Ten of Pentacles, but that's not how it happens, it's like small steps, it's small gains, it's small wins. And the Seven of Pentacles being the slowest moving suit, Pentacles representing longevity, patience, and tenacity. Gemini, it really is on you if you want your new life to really see it as something that you need to invest a lot of time and energy into. Now, I'm not saying that it has to be an arduous process. There is so much beauty and joy and light in the journey. And often when people reach a success or reach a pinnacle or reach fame or stardom, whatever, they always look back at the journey really fondly. So I want you, the building phases, because that's the most exciting part. So I want you to see this new path you're on, I want you to see this building as something that's exciting. I don't want you to continually look over your shoulder for the big thing or the big payout or big this. I don't want you to even necessarily want it to make sense all the time. I want you to just really enjoy cultivating and growing, because that's what this person is doing. Cultivating this new chapter of your life and seeing joy and blessing just in the journey itself. So I wanted to clarify the Seven of Pentacles because it does end the reading. It does see the outcome as a more frustrated point of view, even though you don't have to be frustrated if you take my advice. So I wanted to clarify it. And what flew was the World. And how funny that she flew out of the deck because she is flying herself. So the World is the perfect counterpart to the Seven of Pentacles energy, which would see you nose to the grindstone, as it were, and diligently working away. The World is kind of like this higher self that's reminding you, like she's even looking down on him. I love it. Well, if it's this way. She's like looking down on him as if to say, yes! It's like an angel even coming in to say, yes, I'm cheering you on. It's your higher self saying, yes, I'm cheering you on. It's the God. It's the universe. It's whatever you pray and believe in. Pray to and believe in, coming in to kind of say, yes, this is yours. The world is yours. The World also speaks to seeing something from a different perspective. So we have the tendency when we're working on something to be, or if you want to work on something, to be so single-mindedly focused. I'm so single-mindedly focused on getting a husband. I'm so single-mindedly focused on getting that money and being an entrepreneur and it's even in our culture to be like, we're gonna work. I'm gonna work an 80-hour work week. I'm gonna blah 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 blah, and we exhaust ourselves. So this is also a card of exhaustion. I'm working so hard. I'm exhausted. I just need to stop. And the World card is coming in to invite you to see it from a different perspective, to see it from the long view, to see your actions as something that though they aren't getting you the big pie in the sky today, that in 10 months, 10 years, a few months' time, 3 years' time, whatever that timeline is for you that's realistic for your situation, it sees you taking a long view and see you really seeing your actions as small steps and small indications and small little things you're doing on the way to a much bigger thing. Because the World card is at this point of success and accomplishment where she sees things differently. She's up above, she's looking down below, she's not even concerned with that type of life anymore. And the World card, like I said in the beginning, also kind of speaks to this higher self. It also speaks to, I'm, transcending the human condition. That sounds very esoteric and big, but what it kind of means is as you're going about the world, do not forget that you are connected to something bigger, much bigger. Your world is not just you getting up, punching the clock, and getting a paycheck. No. The world is actually much bigger than you give it credit for. So if you kind of marry your experience here with a bigger idea, with a bigger concept, with your higher self, with fate and with destiny, and really marry what you do here on the earth plane with a bigger type of beauty and interconnectedness that's going on in the cosmos, that's why you're here anyway, watching readings, right? So you know this to be true. So when you really take that type of minded action to do your work, to do what it is that you've thought of, to walk away from what it is that is holding you back or what you've outgrown, to work hard, to take breaks, to really see yourself in a way that you are working towards something that is bigger than what you have now. It's going to be a bigger dream than what you are doing now. And you marry that with the world, with higher perspective, higher ideals, loftiness, or seeing something from high up above so that it seems small. That is when you're going to find your grace, and that is when you're going to find your movement. That's going to be, as they say, the wind beneath your wings. Because when you're up here in the world and you see things as small, the things that feel like big burdens, the things that feel like big frustrations, the things that feel like big sadnesses and annoyances become so dwarfed and tiny that they cease to exist. So as you are cultivating your dream, as you're working towards your dream, as you are shifting your life, shifting your perspective, whatever arena of life it has to do in for you, do not forget to marry the hard work you are doing here in the physical plane with some type of knowing and understanding that you're doing something that is bigger than yourself, that you are being guided by something bigger than yourself, that you have a higher self, that you have a God, an angel, a spirit, whatever, that is really following you and cheering you on. And when you know that the work you're doing in the world is married to this bigger cosmic love, this bigger cosmic universal connectedness, that is when we feel empowered to keep going. So that has been your August reading, Gemini. It's so beautiful. I love this reading. I love it for myself. But of course, if it did not resonate for you, or if you want more clarity into your specific situation, I do invite you to reach out to me for a $5 reading, my summer special I have going on. But until then, I will see you in September. God, I wish I could speak clearly, but I'm doing my best. But I will see you here in September, and until then, I hope that this video finds you well. Cultivate, 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 but don't remember, you're part of a bigger picture.